cash a meal. And do it through the pain, I don't need a pill. And life gon' get me down, but it won't break my will. Cause I've been chasing this so long, I can't give up. I won't give in, been through too much. I done prayed for the money, I done prayed for the fame. I done prayed that I will make a sacrifice and play this game. I done prayed that my life would never be the same. I done prayed that I will make it bring glory to my name.
Ladies and gentlemen, before we get started, this podcast is brought to you by Final Form Supplements. Final Form Supplements is a supplement brand with honesty labeling. So the labeling in supplements is Wild Wild West. Sometimes labels aren't honest. They have things in there that's on in there. We don't have to worry about that with Final Form Supplements. We got everything you need from protein powder, creatine, skin care, soap for your skin, handcrafted soap, and we have all kinds of things. Go to finalformsubs.com, that's SUPPS, finalformsubs.com, use promo code COACHSTRIB, all caps, no space, get 10% off your order, and make sure you like, comment, subscribe on whichever video you're watching here at Ivy Talks Podcast Network, and enjoy the show. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the NFL coverage. Today we are going over week 4. We're going to recap week 4 and what transpired. Before that, again, welcome. If you're new, go ahead and comment, like, subscribe, all that good stuff, good engagement. If you're not new, welcome back, and thank you for staying tuned. So we're going to get straight into it. This past week, week 4, we're going to go over Thursday night. Dallas gets the win over the Giants, 20-10. Again, not a pretty win for Dallas, but they get a win nonetheless. They go to 2-2, trying to get back on the winning side of football. Sunday, we have Pittsburgh Steelers. They lose to the Colts. So Pittsburgh Steelers was one of those teams that was still undefeated. Again, they weren't really dominating the teams they were beating. They both really low-scoring games, except for this game, but pretty much low-scoring games and barely getting the win from Pittsburgh Steelers with Russell Wilson not starting. It's Justin Fields. Minnesota Vikings and Green Bay Packers. Minnesota Vikings takes the win 31-29. Minnesota Vikings stay undefeated at 4-0. We'll get to the rankings of these teams as we get moving forward. Jacksonville Jaguars lose to Houston Texans 24-20. Saints take the L to Atlanta Falcons. I know I talked about a few episodes ago that Saints were looking like the most dominant team. Now they're kind of falling middle of the pack. They're 2-2 as they take the L to the Atlanta Falcons. Bears get the wins over the Rams 24-18. Eagles lose to the Green Bay. Eagles lose to the Tampa Bay Buccaneers 33-16 with a stellar game by Baker Mayfield, 434 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, no interceptions. Next, we have the Bengals taking down the Carolina Panthers 34-24. Then Denver Broncos Jets. A weird game for Aaron Rodgers. He didn't throw any touchdowns, had 275 passing yards. 225 passing yards. No interceptions, no touchdowns. Their points came all from field goals. And then the Denver Broncos, again, Denver Broncos are, they're not dominating. The games they're winning, they're not really winning in very good fashion. They're barely scooting by. It's very similar to how some of these other teams are playing. But nonetheless, the Denver Broncos get the wins over the Jets. The Washington Commanders, again, Jaden Daniels has another just crazy, outstanding game. Jaden Daniels throws for 233 yards for a passing touchdown. He did throw an interception, but again, he was 26 for 30. So his completion percentage is just crazy. But he also had 8 rushes for 47 yards with a long of 10. He had a rushing touchdown. So he had 2 total touchdowns. So Jaden Daniels is just playing phenomenal. He's at the front runner for Offensive Rookie of the Year. So we'll see how that goes as the season goes on. But the Washington Commanders, they're not looking too bad. They are 3-1. So they are looking pretty good so far in the season. New England Patriots lose San Francisco 49ers 30-13. Browns lose to the Raiders 20-16. The Kansas City Chiefs barely squeak by the LA Chargers. LA Chargers go up 10-0 early on. And in the first quarter, and then the Chargers they don't score the rest of the game. They go goose egg for the second, third, fourth quarter, and the Kansas City Chiefs do just enough to get the win. Travis Kelce, this game becomes the Chiefs' all-time leader in receptions at 917 plus, surpassing Tony Gonzalez. So shout out Travis Kelce. That, and then again, we'll talk about the Chiefs a little later. Ravens, Buffalo Bills. Ravens absolutely dominant over the Bills. Derrick Henry we had the vintage King Henry with 199 rushing yards and I believe 2 touchdowns. No, he had 1 touchdown. Oh, he had 2 touchdowns, 1 receiving touchdown, 1 rushing touchdown. 199 yards, 8.3 average, along with 87, which is the Baltimore Ravens franchise record for longest run for Derrick Henry. So if the Baltimore Ravens can pass protect, pass block, and run block the way they're doing it now, because they did start the season off a little rough, but they continue to play at the level they're playing with their offensive line, Baltimore Ravens are going to be a problem. Tennessee Titans, Dolphins, Monday night. My Tennessee Titans get it done. For some reason, we always play pretty well against the Miami Dolphins, regardless of how good they are. Just like last year, we came back from a 3-possession deficit. But regardless, Titans win 31-12. We are finally get a win. We're 1-3. We had to play with Rudolph because Will Levis hurts his shoulder diving for a first down. But even with that in mind, we get it done primarily on the ground. Tony Pollard and Spears have the 2 rushing touchdowns. But anyway, solid game for Titans. And then these Detroit Lions beat the Seattle Seahawks 42-29. All right, we're going to go over standings. We're going to speed through the standings real quick. So AFC East, Bills, Jets, Patriots, Dolphins. Bills are 3-1. AFC North, Steelers, Ravens, Cleveland, Bengals. Steelers are 3-1. AFC South, Texans, Colts, Titans, Jags. Jags are 0-4. Houston's 3-1. AFC West, Kansas City Chiefs, Chargers, Denver, Raiders. I'm also naming the order that they're in. So Kansas City Chiefs, I actually will talk with them after I go over the NFC. NFC East, Washington Commanders, Dallas Cowboys, Eagles, Giants. Washington Commanders are 3-1. NFC North, Vikings, undefeated 4-0. Detroit, Chicago, Packers. Green Bay, I keep doing that. Green Bay, Tampa Bay, 3-1. Atlanta Falcons, Saints, Panthers. And then Seattle Seahawks, 3-1 for the NFC West. San Francisco 49ers, Arizona Cardinals, LA Rams. Overall, the Chiefs have the #1 ranking. Overall, Chiefs and Vikings are both 4-0. And again, there's not really any team that has separated themselves from being in that top tier because the Chiefs are barely winning the games they're winning. Yes, they're 4-0, they're undefeated, but they're not dominating these games. Same with the Vikings. The Vikings aren't really dominating these teams. So it'd be interesting to see how long the Chiefs can hold on to and the Vikings can hold on to their undefeated record. Just to know, Chiefs have the 20th strength of schedule, 20th ranked strength of schedule, and the Vikings have the 12th strength of schedule. So their strength of schedules aren't that tough. For Vikings, they're pretty much middle of the pack, and the Chiefs are kind of towards the bottom of the middle of the pack. So the strength of schedule isn't too crazy. So we'll see how that goes on. Leaders, passing leaders, Brock Purdy, 1,130 yards. Passing touchdowns, Sam Darnold at 11. Receiving yards, Nico Collins, 489 for Houston Texans. Receiving touchdown, Justin Jefferson is tied with Marvin Harrison Jr. at 4. Rushing yards, Derrick Henry. Hang on. All right, I had to make sure this is updated. Rushing yards, Derrick Henry moves to first at 480 rushing yards. Rushing touchdowns, Derrick Henry is tied for first at 5 with Alvin Kamara, as well as Kyron Williams for the LA Rams. Interceptions, Xavier McKinney. Defensive tackles, EJ Speed for the Colts at 47, and sacks, Aiden Hutchinson for the Detroit Lions with 6.5 sacks. And that's going to be the leaders in the statistical category. So now we got week 5 coming up. So Thursday night, we have the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Atlanta Falcons. Falcons are 1.5 point favorite there. Then we have Sunday, Jets, Vikings. This is going to be in London. Then we have Miami Patriots, Panthers, Bears, Colts, Jaguars, Bills, Texans, Ravens, Bengals, Browns, Commanders, Raiders, Broncos, Cardinals, 49ers, Giants, Seahawks, Tampa Bay, LA Rams, Dallas Cowboys, Pittsburgh Steelers. Monday night, we have Saints and Chiefs. Bye week, Detroit, Chargers, Philly, and the Titans all have byes this week. So, games I am interested in seeing: Monday night, Chiefs Saints. I want to see if Chiefs can get this dub against this Saints defense. I know the Saints record-wise hasn't been performing that well, but their rushing defense is 7th, and their points defense is 6th. So I'm just curious to see what Chiefs can do against this pretty solid defense. I mean, overall their defense is ranked pretty middle of the pack, but watching them play, they hustle. I'm just curious to see if the Chiefs can continue to find ways to win and go 5-0. Outside of that, I'm going to have my eye on the Washington Commanders and Cleveland Browns, just because, again, I want to see, can the Washington Commanders keep riding this wave of finding ways to win. It's also important because the Browns have the number 10 ranked total defense, so it'd be interesting to see how the Washington Commanders do against a top 10 defense. But their offense is ranked 6th, so how are they going to show that their offense is legit, and these are not just fluke games that they're having with Jaden Daniels and McLaren with their offensive success. So that's another game I'm gonna have my eye on. Outside of that, I don't really think I have too much. I guess I'll put the Jets and Vikings, because I think talent-wise, in terms of talent with young receiving core, with their quarterback, with their running back, I think on paper, I think the Jets might be one of the best all-around teams offensively and even defensively. Their secondary is phenomenal. I think the Jets on paper has one of the most talented all-around teams, but I think that they're just like right there. They're like, it's always like there seem like there are just a few, like 1 or 2 plays away every game, even like 1 or 2 plays a quarter from being a difference in a touchdown or not. So I'm curious to see, when do they start to click? I think with Aaron Rodgers, he's the type of guy that can make that team start to click, like we saw with last game. Just they started off season, the first game was a little rough, but then now Aaron Rodgers, I figured what game it was, he was getting everything he wanted. Like it was not even a question. So I'm interested to see how they do against the Vikings. The Vikings are undefeated. Could the Jets be the team to give Vikings their first L? And the Jets have the number 2 overall defense. So like this defense is legit. Right now their total offense for the Jets is 23rd, but I think statistically doesn't show how good they could be. But again, I don't think they're touching their potential. But with Aaron Rodgers, I think they could. So I think this game could be the turning point for the Jets. So I'm interested to see how that goes. And what's really interesting is that the Jets' 3rd down completion percentage is 3rd, which is a very, very big factor to winning games. It's if you're offensively staying on the field on 3rd downs, convert on 3rd downs, and then having the number 2 passing. Like I said, their secondary is phenomenal. Their passing defense is 2nd in the NFL. Rushing defense is 20th, but total defense, they are 2nd overall. So I think that'd be an interesting game to see, because I think it will be. I think Jets can compete with any team they go up against. I think it could be a competitive game. Will they win all of them? No, but I do think there's not a team in the league right now that the Jets can't compete with. So I'm gonna have mine on that one. And then Thursday night, I'm actually interested because Falcons have actually been playing pretty damn good. Kirk Cousins and Baker Mayfield have been playing pretty damn well, and I'm actually interested to see how the Falcons and Buccaneers fare against each other, because I do think it's gonna be I think they're pretty evenly matched teams as of right now. And Falcons, they're only a 1.5 point favorite, so the over under 1.5. So they're only expecting it to be like a 2-point game. So basically, it's going to be decided by a field goal, is what basically Vegas is saying. So I think that'd be an interesting game to watch. But those are going to be what I'm looking for come week 5, which starts. This will drop Wednesday, so starting tomorrow, Thursday Night Football. And appreciate you guys for watching. We'll catch you guys next week.
Destiny, I'm gonna chase my dreams. My life has